The year is 2017. You open up the SoundCloud app on your iPhone 8 and see this new mixtape from a rapper named Playboi Carti. You press play and give it a listen.
Yo, Pierre, you want to come out here?
You and your friends hop on this new video game called Fortnite Battle Royale. You don't really know how to play yet, so you just hide in a bush. Meanwhile, Fidget Spinners, Salt Bae, the Solar Eclipse, and the Drive-By Dunk Challenge have social media in a chokehold. Life was good, and definitely so was the music. 2017 was the year that rap officially became the #1 genre of music in the United States, led by some of the most unique and polarizing figures such as XXXTentacion, Playboi Carti, and Lil Pump to name a few. These genre-bending new artists would forever change hip-hop as we know it. Then combined with the continued rise in certified stardom of the 2016 class, along with of course a little added nostalgia, in this video we'll see why many fans consider 2017 as the best year ever. It's crazy to think that 2017 was 6 years ago. Simply put, 2017 was a legendary year for hip-hop, from some of the biggest mainstream names dropping fire projects like Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Jay-Z, Post Malone, Migos, as well as Future's 5th and 6th albums releasing just a week apart, to then all of the new up-and-coming artists we saw burst onto the scene, many of them proving they were here to stay. While 2016 introduced us to these future stars like Lil Uzi Vert, 21 Savage, and Lil Yachty, who all helped ignite this new wave, 2017 ushered in an entire fresh group of young rappers who would build on their sound and continue to revolutionize the industry. One of the main leaders of this movement was 19-year-old Florida artist XXXTentacion. The massive success and impact that X was able to have in his short career may honestly never be seen again. X had been making music since 2013 but would begin receiving mainstream attention in 2017 with Look at Me. Although released 2 years prior, Look at Me blew up following some controversy with Drake, one of the biggest artists in the world, after Drake previewed a new song titled KMT at his show. Fans started calling Drake out for stealing X's flow from Look at Me, and I'll agree it does sound very similar. After hearing the snippet, X would tweet his frustration saying, "I'm not the first person he bit, nor will I be the last. Drake a pussy, money don't buy you respect." Drake later went on to deny these rumors, claiming that he never even heard the song but could see how people drew comparisons, except X still wasn't buying it.
I hear da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, what the f? As soon as it started, like I knew he was getting that. Like they did a mashup. They put his verse on my song, and the cadence is literally just at the same tempo. It's not offbeat at all.
Regardless though, this would all help the song go viral and put XXXTentacion on the map. With its extremely heavy and distorted bass, Look at Me was really unlike anything we'd ever heard in the mainstream. However, the reason X was so praised as an artist was due to his versatility, and how he was able to blend multiple different styles into his music. Along with Lil Peep, X is credited as one of the early pioneers of the emo rap subgenre that exploded in 2017, then carried on by Juice WRLD the following year. Fusing aspects of hip-hop, trap, punk, and rock as well as with lyrics centered around heartbreak and depression, emo rappers were able to quickly gain cult followings due to their vulnerability.
It's like trying to consume me. It's almost like it's trying to get inside of my mind, you know? So I've started to look at myself very differently and beat myself up. And you guys are the only thing that gives me hope.
Back in January of 2017, Lil Peep was labeled as the future of emo by Pitchfork. Unfortunately though, his career was cut short just a few months later after an overdose on fake pills. Peep's death brought even more attention to the genre and to artists such as Lil Aaron, Lil Tracy, and Trippie Redd. Trippie Redd was another upcoming artist who exploded onto the scene in 2017, releasing still my favorite Trippie projects, A Love Letter to You 1 and 2, both in that same year. Trippie quickly became one of the hottest new artists due to his uniqueness. He would link up with his quote best friend X for their biggest hit, F Love, on X's debut album 17. The release and success of 17 in August was a defining moment for emo rap in the mainstream, as the album would go on to debut at number 2 on the Billboard 200. Along with that, their now 9-time platinum Nick Mira produced track F Love would soon become the -- most streamed song ever on SoundCloud, which is pretty crazy.
Posted an Instagram snippet the night after. X he had texted me and he was like, "Bro, I need that." I sent it to him and he was like, "Bro, I'm putting this on my album." I'm like, "Alright, bet."
If SoundCloud as a platform wasn't already mainstream, then the 2017 it there. As the new go-to for up-and-coming artists to post their music for free, SoundCloud honestly changed the game, dominating the younger demographic of hip-hop fans. There was just something so organic about the SoundCloud era. Artists were literally recording platinum songs from their bedrooms, then uploading them whenever they felt like it. When the SoundCloud scene was at its height, there were unsigned underground artists doing more numbers than mainstream acts. No label pushed, just a loyal audience. It was an era, says Lyrical Lemonade founder Cole Bennett, whose music videos were also a staple of that time period. Then the labels caught on and nothing has been the same since. Everything feels so artificial now. It wasn't only SoundCloud either, but streaming as a whole continued to drastically transform the music industry. With a total of 400 billion streams, 2017 saw a 43% increase compared to the year prior, as Apple Music and Spotify were making it easier than ever for us fans to listen to music. It was truly a special time. However, it was also a controversial one.
We call it mumble rap.
Oh, so y'all got a name for it?
Yeah, me and my homies. I mean, it ain't no disrespect to the little homies.
That's what's wrong right now. Everybody trying to rap the same style with the, I don't know who created it, if it was Future or Migos, but all them niggas sound the same.
At first, it honestly seemed like the rap community was split down the middle, although I've never liked the term. Mumble rap would soon become synonymous with these new age artists. And while it originated the year prior, 2017 would give us even more artists that fit that description perfectly. One of the most popular being Atlanta rapper Playboi Carti. Following the release of his debut commercial self-titled mixtape in April, Playboi Carti became the most talked about upcoming artist. Thanks to his unique and original sound, style, and flow, Carti was another breath of fresh air in the scene.
You know, I feel like, honestly, we all got a different sound, too, and that's even better. You know what I'm saying? You got 21 to start shit. You got Yachty on his mainstream shit. You got Uzi on his rock star shit. You got me on my pop star shit. It just all goes.
Everyone fits in a different lane.
Yeah.
However, fans of older hip-hop and more lyrical rap were quick to criticize Carti and his music. However, it soon seemed like the rap anonymous with the artists that fit that description perfectly. One of the most popular being Atlanta rapper Playboi Carti. Following the release of his debut commercial self-titled mixtape in April, Playboi Carti became the most talked about upcoming artist. Thanks to his unique and original sound, style, and flow, Carti was another breath of fresh air in the scene.
You know, I feel like, honestly, we all got a different sound, too, and that's even better. You know what I'm saying? You got 21 to start shit. You got Yachty on his mainstream shit. You got Uzi on his rock star shit. You got me on my pop star shit. It just all goes.
Everyone fits in a different lane.
Yeah.
However, fans of older hip-hop and more lyrical rap were quick to criticize Carti.
Yeah.
However, fans of older hip-hop and more lyrical rap were quick to criticize Carti and his music. Honestly, I feel like you either loved him or you hated him. Everything sounds like an ad-lib, even the main lyrics. Read the New York Times. It is basically a glorified beat tape with ad-libs. Hip Hop DX's review stated, but alongside his producer Pierre Bourne, Playboi Carti has since gone on to become arguably the most influential rapper of the last decade, and this debut mixtape still holds up today. Another controversial lane made popular in 2017 was what many refer to as, quote, ignorant rap. Spearheaded, of course, by one of the most polarizing figures hip-hop has ever seen, Lil Pump. Again, definitely a guy you either hated or loved.
It's just ignorant shit, bro. Like, I make ignorant shit that's catchy, bro. People fuck with. That's how people fuck with me.
After major success on SoundCloud with singles like D-Rose and Boss, Lil Pump would sign to Warner Records 2 months before his 17th birthday. His minimalistic music was low-key catchy, and his drugged-out teenage persona was working to perfection. He was the prime example of using social media antics to boost your streams.
What? You tripping?
Pump would drop his iconic single Gucci Gang that summer and then his self-titled debut album shortly after, which would both impressively peak at number 3 on the charts. The Florida hip-hop scene in general was on fire back in 2017. There was Lil Pump and his good friend Smoke Perp, who Perp gave us, in my opinion, a SoundCloud classic with the Dead Star. There was X and Ski Mask the Slump God going crazy, as well as Denzel Curry and Kodak Black. Oh yeah, and remember Supreme Patty? We also have to give credit to producer Ronnie J for his work on a lot of these Florida hits at the time.
Oh my god, Ronnie.
And for really helping shape that signature sound with his distorted 808s.
I for sure paid attention. I realized, like, okay, like their sound is more like dirty, like underground. It's not super clean. Cause like I never knew how to mix. So, you know, everyone thought I was doing things on purpose, but really, like, I didn't know what I was doing like that.
Rap media outlets like No Jumper and XXL also continued to thrive, arguably hitting their prime this year as the genre grew by the day. 2017 was a special time to be a fan of hip-hop. However, some fans argue it was only a preview of what was to come the next year in 2018. Stay The year is 2018. You open up the SoundCloud app on your iPhone X, which no longer has a home button, and see let's take a trip. Have you ever wondered how rappers are still able to release new music after they go to jail? Incarceration social media and see some of the strangest things going viral, such as a guy squeezing lemons into his eyes, 11-year-old kids flexing sports cars and getting record deals yodeling in Walmart, and of course we can't forget people eating Tide Pods. It was definitely
I can't even put it at 2, guys. Do you understand how bad this is? I can't even put it at 2, guys. Like, this is actually ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous. I can't even put it at 2, guys. What?
definitely
Oh my god. Like, why? This is actually ridiculous. This is ridiculous, brother.
the year is 2018. You open up the SoundCloud app on your iPhone X, which no longer has a home button, and see this new artist named Juice WRLD. You press play and give it a listen. You and your friends hop on some OG Fortnite as the game's in its prime, while you also watch J.R. Smith blow the NBA Finals. You scroll through social media and see some of the strangest things going viral, such as a guy squeezing lemons into his eyes, 11-year-old kids flexing sports cars and getting record deals yodeling in Walmart, and of course we can't forget people eating Tide Pods. It was definitely a very memorable time to be alive. However, looking back, 2018 was also filled with a lot of great music. 2018 saw hip-hop stand its ground as the #1 genre of music for the second year in a row, led by new faces like Juice WRLD, Lil Skies, and Lil Baby, in addition to these other young artists who blew up the year prior, now becoming stars. Along with a little help from nostalgia, in this video we'll see why many fans consider 2018 as the best year ever.
Alright. New Patek on my wrist. Yeah. White diamond, them shits in pink. Yeah. Got
For the Philadelphia Eagles, the long drought is over. In college basketball, UNB.
I'm pretty sure I can say 2018 pretty good because that's like the best memories I had because that's when I was actually more alive than in 2016 because I was like 4 years old in 2016, guys.
DC makes history.
Laurel.
It's crazy to think
4 years old. Did I say 12? I think I said 12, so 4.
that 2018 was 5 years ago. Simply put, 2018 was an iconic year for hip-hop. From some of the biggest mainstream names dropping fire projects like Travis Scott's Astroworld, Lil Wayne's long-awaited Carter 5 we never thought we'd hear, J. Cole Drake, Post Malone, A$AP Rocky, and Kanye West's run of 7-track EPs including Kids See Ghosts, to then all of the new up-and-coming artists we saw burst onto the scene. And although 2016 and 2017 were great years too and first introduced us to some of these new wave artists, many fans will tell you though that 2018 was the golden age of the SoundCloud era. New artists were blowing up seemingly every week and bringing a fresh sound and style
Ridiculous, guys. I don't know why this is glitchy right now. Maybe because I'm live streaming? Oh my god, dude. What is this, bro?
when first introduced us to some of these new wave artists. Many fans will tell you though that 2018 was the golden age of the SoundCloud era. New artists were blowing up seemingly every week and bringing a fresh sound and style, pushing the genre to
No, don't do that. It's gonna make it even worse.
when first introduced us to some of
Look at this, guys. I can't even proceed through the video. It's this ridiculous, bro.
genre to record heights of attention and interest. However, as we'll see in a second, it was also the final prime year of SoundCloud as the platform's downfall began shortly after. It's impossible to mention SoundCloud or even just music in 2018 without bringing up arguably the hottest artist of the year, 19-year-old Chicago rapper Juice WRLD. What Juice WRLD was able to accomplish in a matter of months in 2018 may honestly never be seen again. Joining XXXTentacion and Lil Peep as pioneers of the emerging emo rap subgenre, not only did Juice WRLD's infectious melodies and crazy freestyling ability make him
I went down.
one of the most talented artists we've ever seen, but back in 2018 it started to feel like almost every SoundCloud rap influenced by Juice's sound.
People love to hear something that came out that was good, that's natural, that doesn't sound forced, that sounds authentic. People love that.
And although both Nick Mira produced tracks All Girls Are the Same and Lucid Dreams were posted on SoundCloud the year prior, it wasn't until after re-releasing them as official singles under Interscope in 2018 that they exploded into the mainstream. With the help of two legendary Cole Bennett music videos, there was simply no escaping these songs in 2018. Closing in on now 1 billion views on YouTube alone, by far the most viewed Lyrical Lemonade video to date, Lucid Dreams would not only go on to peak at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and become the 4th most streamed song in SoundCloud history, but also stay Juice WRLD's biggest hit of his career, now certified 11 times platinum.
It's funny because I wrote that song in like 15 minutes. I didn't think that was gonna be it was just another song. Obviously I liked it enough to put it on the project, but I didn't think that was gonna be the smash.
After releasing his debut album and one of my favorite projects of the year in May, and then securing a collab tape with his idol Future a few months later, Juice WRLD had already cemented himself a star before the age of 20. But another young artist who blew up in that same auto-tune melodic lane was Lil Skies, who I don't think I'm alone when saying this guy dominated my playlist in 2018. As the textbook example of what people think of when they hear SoundCloud rapper, covered in tattoos head to toe, Lil Skies was quickly building himself a loyal fanbase. Following the release of his first major label mixtape, Life of a Dark Rose, in early 2018, including the hit songs Red Roses, Nowadays, and Lust, accompanied by his first ever sold-out tour, it wasn't long before Lil Skies was one of the most buzzed-about upcoming artists, again growing primarily through SoundCloud, as well as through the Cuff Boys YouTube channel.
Lil Skies, what's your SoundCloud? Lil Skies on SoundCloud? Lil Skies.
I remember that SoundCloud, I uploaded my own songs, for years. That's how I did it. Even Red Roses, I uploaded that shit myself.
It's no coincidence that every one of Lil Skies' biggest hits also came with a Lyrical Lemonade video. At one point in 2018, it almost felt like a Cole Bennett music video was a necessary step for an upcoming artist and could instantly jumpstart a career, similar to how a No Jumper and Adam 22 interview felt like too at the time. Lil Skies, Juice WRLD, Comethazine, Blueface, YBN Nahmir, Cordae, Young Bands, and Lil Mosey are just a few of the many artists that significantly benefited from working with Cole in 2018. Making a name with his creative edits and unique visuals, Lyrical Lemonade was bringing even more new attention to the SoundCloud scene.
I still don't think I've fully processed, the Juice thing, him becoming that type of superstar and those type of numbers and everything and how it all started. It still hasn't hit me.
Nostalgia aside, it truly was a fun time to be a fan of hip-hop. However, like every year, despite all the highs that came in 2018, also came the lows. I believe we all remember where we were when we heard the unfortunate news on the afternoon of June 18th, 2018.
I think X got shot.
You said what?
X got shot, bro. I think X got shot. Like, for real, I think X got shot, bro.
Nah.
The information, what I just heard, was that he's passed.
Ski Master Slump God's best friend, XXXTentacion, was shot and killed while leaving a motorcycle shop in South Florida. As only a 20-year-old kid, the influence that X was able to have in such short amount of time was insane. And although 2017 was when he first started to blow up, just 3 months prior to his murder, X had dropped his Question Mark album in March, going on to debut at number 1. R.I.P. X, Juice WRLD tweeted after hearing what had happened. Musically, I really looked up to you. Juice was in the studio the night of X's passing, and the very next day he would drop 2 new singles on SoundCloud, with Legend serving as a tribute to X and Lil Peep. Meanwhile, XXXTentacion continued to break records even after he was gone, as Sad would top the Billboard charts that next week, making X the first rapper to posthumously go number 1 since Biggie Smalls in '97. However, X wasn't the only artist we'd see release their final album in 2018, as only a few months later in September we'd receive some more terrible news.
Rapper Mac Miller has reportedly died of an overdose. TMZ is reporting that Miller was found dead on Friday at his home in California's San Fernando Valley.
These were two big losses to both the hip-hop community and the music industry as a whole, especially since X was now a leading face of this new movement. Basically, the poster child for SoundCloud rap. But elsewhere in 2018, on the more street side of the genre, was another rising artist whose run was about as impressive as they come. Entering the year hot off his first hit, My Dog, it was Lil Baby's consistency in 2018, though, that left no doubt he was here to stay. His debut album in May boosted him into the spotlight even more thanks to a Drake feature on Yes Indeed. And if you still hadn't heard of Lil Baby, I'm sure you definitely did after his collab project that fall with Gunna, another Atlanta rapper who was having a breakout year, and together the project's Grammy-nominated single, Drip Too Hard, would not only become one of the biggest songs of 2018, but is now literally certified diamond in the US.
You say Gunna's your closest friend in the industry?
Yeah. Definitely. I like consider Gunna like we ain't friends, you know what I'm saying? Like we like more than friends, so it's like on a different level.
Along with one more Lil Baby mixtape to close out the year, we also have to mention NBA Youngboy, who was on a run of his own, and as always was feeding his fans very well. In 2018, we also saw Drake land the biggest hit of his career, leading everyone to sing about how much they love their beds. In addition to settling his longtime beef with Meek Mill and then playing Fortnite with Ninja, 18-year-old Sheck West secured maybe the hottest song of the year before basically disappearing forever. Childish Gambino returned with his polarizing new single and music video, This Is America. Rich the Kid delivered Plug Walk and what I thought was a really good debut album. Kanye West linked up with Lil Pump for the year's most unexpected collab. Producers such as Pierre Bourne, Nick Mira, Murder Beats, and Metro Boomin were killing it on the production side of things. Jay-Z and Beyonce raked in a cool $250 million on their joint tour together, and Travis Scott rode a roller coaster through his first headlining arena tour, while smaller shows like Playboi Carti's Neon Tour were just as hype, arguably even more hype as these future stars had small venues packed to the brim across the country. As the identity and sound of hip-hop was changing, so was the way we as listeners consumed it. Streaming platforms like Apple Music and Spotify continued to see huge increases, while individual track sales on iTunes dropped a total of 28%. The streaming era had officially taken over. However, after losing XXXTentacion and then Juice WRLD a year later, it honestly felt like SoundCloud died when Juice did. Yeah, there were still artists who found success on the platform, but it just never felt the same as it had between 2016 to 2018. And as we can see here, overall interest in SoundCloud rap began its decline the following year. That following year, 2019, saw Lil Nas X show the world how to go #1 through social media, soon starting the trend of TikTok hits. And then, of course, we all know what 2020 had in store. When the SoundCloud scene was at its height, there were unsigned underground artists doing more numbers than mainstream acts. No label push, just a loyal audience, says Cole Bennett. It was an era. Then the labels caught on and nothing has been the same since. Everything feels so artificial now. While there's no doubt that nostalgia definitely plays a big factor when we look back on these years, there's also no doubt that the artists of 2018 revolutionized hip-hop forever, carrying the genre to new heights with their distorted bass and auto-tune melodies. Although we're told not to look back in the past, 2018 will always be a very special time to remember.
The SoundCloud
Back in 2017, emo rap was hands down the most exciting genre of rap out there. Artists like Lil Peep, XXXTentacion, and eventually Juice WRLD were starting to see some serious mainstream success, and new talented artists were popping up left and right. Emo rap seemed to be the direction rap was just taking as a whole. However, years later, what's come of emo rap is not what most fans would have expected. The genre is wide open, and not only that, no one is interested in listening to it. So what happened, and how? My name is Rashad Bashir, and this is the fall of emo rap, rap's most controversial genre. But before we talk about the fall, we have to talk about its rise. And before that, we have to define it. Emo rap is a genre that exploded in 2017, combining hip-hop, trap, punk, and rock with emotional lyrics about heartbreak and depression. And certain emo rappers were able to gain huge cult followings due to the vulnerability of the music. On September 9th, 2017, Genius would publish a video titled How Lil Peep, Lil Uzi Vert, and Trippie Redd Are Bringing Back Emo. They claimed Lil Peep was bridging the gap between 2000s emo and 2010s trap, and they were right. Around that time, Lil Uzi Vert's EXO Tour Life had also peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. It may not have been what's considered emo rap today, but that song definitely marked a shift in hip-hop. And the emo rap movement was genuinely creative. Lil Peep, along with Lil Uzi Vert, Trippie Redd, and XXXTentacion were bringing a new genre into the spotlight of the mainstream. The fusion of emo and trap was something really new and cool, and topics like teen angst, heartbreak, were something that rap fans had been looking for a while. And when they found it, they couldn't get enough. Emo rap would take the industry by storm, becoming the fastest growing genre on all streaming platforms. And for a while, emo rap was going crazy. Lil Peep's SoundCloud projects were making serious noise. Artists like Trippie Redd dropped songs like Love Scars, which became huge hits as well. And rappers like XXXTentacion switched the sound to emo. Love Scars, fastest growing genre on all streaming platforms. And for a while, emo rap was going crazy. Lil Peep's SoundCloud projects were making serious noise. Artists like Trippie Redd dropped songs like Love Scars, which became huge hits as well. And rappers like XXXTentacion switched the sound to emo rap. These days, the image you have stream with both of his projects topping Billboard. But there's one artist that many have forgotten today who was once the largest emo rapper, and that's Lil Xan. In 2017, Lil Xan was in a great spot. He had come off of his hit, Betrayed, which today is sitting at 300 million views on YouTube, and whether you liked it or not, it's a fact that Lil Xan was one of the first artists to take advantage of the emo rap wave. All of a sudden, Xan was the face of emo rap, even if only for a short amount of time. He was, I remember it. Maybe not the face, but the most popular.
How quickly you went from a total nobody to somebody that everybody knew.
It's crazy.
It was so shocking, even for me being like really close to it.
His lazy flow and weird lyrics made people think he was different, and it looked like he was about to make a serious dent in the music industry as an emo rapper, alongside Lil Peep. I'm not even joking. As for a short while, Betrayed was the most viewed music video on Lyrical Lemonade. However, months later, when Xan dropped his debut album, Xanarchy, it sold 28k and got horrible reviews. It was trash. Afterwards, Lil Xan ended up getting more tattoos, releasing more trash songs, and eventually became a nobody. Just a person who people didn't care about and faded into obscurity. But it didn't matter for emo rap fans. Lil Xan's career failing was more of a false alarm. Emo rap wasn't going anywhere anytime soon, at least for the time being, as artists like Lil Peep and XXXTentacion looked like they were going to be making some serious moves, and new emo rappers were popping up every other week. However, all of this excitement would only last a short while, because soon emo rap would suffer a huge tragedy. On November 17th, 2017, at the age of 21, Lil Peep passed away.
And emerging rapper Lil Peep died last night, right before he was set to perform in Tucson.
Just like all the other OG emo rappers, Peep really lived what he rapped about. But despite the sad news, it did help emo rap's popularity. Right after Peep passed, his fame went through the roof, becoming one of the most streamed artists in the world today, and he'd put emo rap in the spotlight. So fans thought, hey, at least emo rap has one more superstar, right? Nope. Just 7 months later, XXXTentacion passed away as well. X was much more famous than Peep while he was alive. He was a superstar, and at that point, the face of SoundCloud, and technically even emo rap. So his passing was a horrible blow for emo rap, as both him and Peep were wildly young and had very bright futures ahead of them. X's music went even more viral than Peep's after he passed away. X's single Sat hit #1 on Billboard, the first posthumous rap #1 single on Billboard since the Notorious B.I.G. 20 years earlier, and technically even the first emo rap #1 single. And this is what should have started the downfall of emo rap. Except there was one last hope. Juice WRLD. 1 month before X passed, Juice WRLD was already gaining a lot of traction, and they even spoke to each other. Lucid Dreams had debuted on the Hot 100 Billboard 1 month before X passed, and afterwards, Juice had even made a song called Legends, dedicated to Peep and X. Juice gained a ton of new fans, as many of X and Peep's fans gravitated towards his music, and Juice WRLD was the perfect rapper to take the throne. Juice WRLD was really into rock and emo bands like Fall Out Boys, Blink-182, and Black Sabbath as a kid, which meant when he began rapping, he was a perfect fit for the genre. So he made a SoundCloud, started dropping, and the rest was history. He dropped songs like Lucid Dreams, Moonlight, and All Girls Are the Same, which eventually caught the attention of Cole Bennett. The man Juice WRLD signed to, Lil Bibby, was from Chicago, the same city as Juice, and Cole Bennett was from the same city as well. So he offered to do a music video for Juice's at the time up-and-coming song, All Girls Are the Same, creating the perfect storm. Pretty soon, his song, All Girls Are the Same, was on all radio stations and everywhere you went. Lucid Dreams also got a music video, and it became even bigger, hitting #2 on Billboard. Then, his album Goodbye and Good Riddance sold 39K first week, eventually peaking at #4 at Billboard, and Juice WRLD went on a world tour. So Juice's music began blowing up, and it was clear he was a star. And the way it began was all organic. Just 3 guys from Chicago showing love. In 2019, Juice's second studio album, Death Race for Love, sold 165,000 units first week and featured some pretty big hits like Robbery. He was on the cusp of becoming one of the biggest artists in the world, and I mean, he did. Just not the way everyone would wish. A couple months before boarding a private jet, the FBI had put Juice WRLD on a watch list. Then, one day, the pilot of the jet Juice was flying on informed the police that Juice had contraband, or at least his team did. So, the police and the FBI were waiting for him when the jet landed. Juice tried to hide everything, but his plan backfired. He overdosed, and they weren't able to save him. He stopped breathing and was pronounced dead. Juice WRLD's passing was more than just a regular death. Fans resonated with him, and his emotional music meant millions would mourn his death. And with Juice WRLD gone, so was the last of the original SoundCloud emo rap wave. Juice WRLD was the first one who took emo rap to the mainstream and did what Lil Peep and XXXTentacion were about to do while they were alive. So when he left, the emo rap we all knew was no more. But even in that video I spoke about where emo rap was praised so heavily, they did end it off with this question.
However, what is yet to be seen is whether this subgenre is here to stay or will peter out the way emo rock did in the late 2000s.
And many music critics even believed emo rap's falloff was inevitable. But why and how?
At the end of the day, emo rap is considered a trend, and I don't know if you guys are totally aware of this, but people see it as something that's going to fall off.
Well, there are many reasons. The first reason is the biggest artists either passed, fell off, or stopped making emo rap. Let me explain. Literally all the largest rappers in emo rap passed away.
Not living on this planet, RIP to Lil Peep, Juice WRLD, XXXTentacion, and any others that I missed. But what I'm saying,
which is super unlucky and unfortunate. And for most, what came after didn't really hit the same.
What I'm saying is the genre just isn't as popular anymore, and honestly, it just seems cheesy and fake. Like, I've been talking to various people about this. I just don't mess with the genre now.
But there was one unintended consequence of all these emo rappers passing. You see, Lil Peep was named the future of emo rap, and months later he passed away. But Peep's passing brought a lot of attention to the genre. So did X's, and so did Juice's. So in a really weird way, the passing of Juice WRLD, XXXTentacion, and Lil Peep made emo rap huge and created a massive demand for the subgenre, just waiting to be filled. And that's when industry plans began rolling in. This time, there wasn't an artist like Juice WRLD who would have an organic come up and win over the hearts of emo rap fans. Rather, record labels who saw the massive success of X, Peep, and Juice had tried their hands at manufacturing their own versions of these emo rap superstars. And this is when I would say emo rap really died. So that year, in 2019, everyone was trying to copy the sound of Juice WRLD, Lil Peep, and X. And as a result, What was once an organic community became riddled with industry plants, a lot of them. One of the first and most popular shameless emo rap industry plants, I know that was a lot of adjectives, was Jumex. Jumex began blowing up in 2019 after his hit song Loner, and from the jump, it was pretty clear he was an industry plant. That song Loner was a cookie cutter scream rap song where he just starts yelling in an emotional voice. And it was really obvious he was just trying to copy XXXTentacion and Lil Peep. So fans would get straight to investigating. They found his old music, which was just Walmart Lil Peep songs, and that he had gotten signed after a video of him acting up in high school went viral. But then fans found out that his music video was also directed by ex-Odd Future member Taco, who was well known in the music industry, and that his song Loner was written by one of Lil Peep's best friends, Isla McConan, who also used to be signed to Drake. He was then exposed for begging people to make him songs because he knew he had no talent. Yeah, not a good look. A Genius interview dropped and more singles, but by then everyone knew he was an industry plant, so it was a wrap. Fans were clowning on him like crazy, and his views were dwindling. It was clear Jumex was glamorizing depression because it was trendy, not because he really felt that way, or it was actually what he wanted to put out in the world. He later collabed with Lil Xan and Travis Barker, which didn't really help since they're two people the emo rap community aren't very fond of, and was dropped from his label. But not all of the emo rappers who were planted were necessarily unsuccessful. Some made some serious waves, the most notorious being Ian Dior. Ian Dior was a rapper who began gaining a lot of attention for his emo rap songs in 2019, and for like 2 weeks, people were messing with him. Everyone was. They thought his music was good, and many people became fans. However, little did they know that Ian Dior wasn't even really Ian Dior. Let me explain. He was an artist discovered by Taz Taylor and Internet Money, who, after discovering him, made him change his name from Olmo to Ian Dior, and told him to play into the emo rap persona. And I'm not gonna lie, Ian Dior played the part perfectly. He released a handful of solo songs that would rack up millions and millions of plays, such as Emotions, Molly, and Romance 361, even receiving a PNB Rock feature. However, like I said, at the time, no one knew about his connections, but soon signs that Ian Dior wasn't an organic artist and rather an industry plant started to pop up, with fans finding some weird information. They realized that Ian Dior was a month into releasing music and had barely any followers or plays on YouTube. However, he had hundreds of thousands of plays on those same songs on SoundCloud, and all of the songs were on huge promo pages on Instagram and YouTube. On top of that, he was weirdly being promoted by FaZe Clan and Nelk, which didn't really add up at all. Once again, fans were disappointed, as they thought this wasn't another industry plant. Nope, it was just the same story all over again. From there, things got worse. The thing is, fans of emo rap could only take so much, and Ian Dior's blatant push by a record label was just met by a ton of backlash. In fact, the industry plant mockery of Ian Dior got so bad that he and his label decided to name his debut studio album, wait for it, Industry Plant. The man who was signed